Hey folks, Marcel once again back with the polls. Today I have more good news. It's always fun to make these videos about good news topics, and hyaluronic acid, which is a molecule that was kind of discovered in part, or the impacts of it were discovered by Vera Gorbanova, who's the head of the science board for DoNotAge. And I've been taking it for 2.5 years. I'm going to go over some of the benefits, reported benefits of taking hyaluronic acid. But it just went on sale after the success of the NMN sale, which kicked off about 10 days ago. The biggest bump in NMN sales I've seen, and NMN just continues to climb the 3 years I've been taking it. This has been the biggest bump in sales I've seen from NMN, and they're following up the reaction with yet another negotiated sale. Now, this is also listed as while supplies last, so I don't know if this is going to be permanent or not yet, so you may want to take advantage of it while it's available. But now DoNotAge is offering it up to 26% off, which of course you can save the additional 10% by using the code ThePolls. Now, hyaluronic acid exists. It's basically the body's natural lubricant for the eyes and your joints. Those are the areas of the body where they exist in the highest concentrations. Animals that live a long time tend to have higher concentrations of hyaluronic acid. Most of the research is centered around protecting the body, moisturizing the body, lubricating the body, improving skin. I'll go over some of the things that it's said to help with. Skin, it can reduce lines and wrinkles. You can take it as a cream. I will warn you, if you take hyaluronic acid as a cream and you live in a dry environment or a dry climate, you want to make sure you take it with a skin moisturizer, which is probably a good idea anyway, because it's so good at absorbing moisture. It can absorb it from the air and moisturize the skin, but it can also, if the air is really dry, it can absorb the moisture out of the skin itself. So you want to use some hydration with, or some kind of a moisturizer with that. It's also been found to aid in wound healing, assist with joint pain, reduce joint pain, reduce acid reflux, kind of a surprise. Dry eyes makes sense since it exists in the moisture in the fluid around the eyes. And it can aid in bone strength. Personally, I've been taking it for 2.5 years. Can I pinpoint what's doing what? No, I cannot. I can just tell you, don't have joint pain. My skin's pretty healthy. My wounds do heal fast. But I'm also taking collagen, I'm taking NMN and other supplements, which are said to help with these types of things as well. But again, things didn't get worse. And again, coming from Vera Gorbanova, who was also the SIRT6 activator scientist who also promotes that. Also, she's the person who actually tests every formulation, every batch of the SIRT6 activator for DoNotAge is done at Rochester University by Vera in her lab. Look them up. Very legit stuff, good science being done there. Now, foods, as is the case with vitamin C, D, NMN, and other natural ingredients, hyaluronic acid is found in high concentrations in these foods: sweet potatoes, beans, soybeans, grains, peanuts, chickpeas, garlic, onions, many other fruits and vegetables, along with tea, both black and green. So I find it really interesting, as always, that a lot of these natural ingredients, these supplements that are offered by DoNotAge, exists in the food supply. It's always a good sign. Personally, what I do is I try to eat more of these foods. Since I'm taking the supplements, I want them to be food supplement. I want them to supplement a healthy diet. It's worked for me. And I want to tell you that I'm not here with this channel. The purpose of this channel is not at all to make an argument for or against supplements or just the lifestyle itself. All I'm really doing is reporting to you my own progress. I've shown you the before pictures. I've talked many times about the state I was in 5-6 years ago when I started down this path. I've made many lifestyle changes. I believe that supplements have played a big role. I feel so good. And if I go off supplements for a few days, I already notice a bit of a decline. So it doesn't take long to start slowing down and not feeling as good. But I feel so youthful and so good. Also, interestingly, every year I felt better and better. And that's what I'm trying to report here. That's what I'm trying to share here. And that's why I share so much of what I take, also what I do, what I eat. You can be the judge from there, what you might believe or not believe, and try things out for yourself and see what works for you. We've had many, many comments. In fact, if I add them all up, it's into the thousands of other people reporting their own progress with NMN and other things like hyaluronic acid, 6 activator. There's also a high concentration of doubters, and I hate to use the word trolls, but it sort of feels trollish quite often. So I want to warn you against some of the comments. The comments do trend a lot more negative than the like-dislike. I kind of used to like how in the past, YouTube would show, the positive likes, the thumbs up, and the thumbs down. You would see the differences. And they no longer do that. I can just tell you I'm looking. I can see that data. And over the past 10 videos, I'm averaging about 99%. That's a few thousand votes. So it's trending pretty positive, a lot more positive than the comments themselves, which can kind of turn to the negative side in a hurry. So it's a topic that I'm going to talk more about because I do wonder what the agenda is. Like hyaluronic acid exists in natural foods. What would be the agenda for someone, going on the comments and barking against it? I don't know. I would be careful with anything that you take, any foods that you eat. There are some rare cases where hyaluronic acid people have allergies, but they also have allergies to some of these foods that it's in. So I would warn against, being careful about anything that might give you an allergic reaction. I've been offered hyaluronic shots by a dermatologist. I did not get them, but reportedly that can help remove some of the wrinkles. I have some here. So I asked what I could be doing while I was there, getting a cancer checkup, which I had no problems with, by the way. Everything was clean, had a whole inspection done, which my insurance company paid for. That was last year, so I'll probably go back and do that. I don't know how often you're going to do those skin tech checks. I would assume at some point in time, if you're in the sun a lot, probably annually is a good idea. But I asked what people do for this kind of thing because I lost a lot of weight with my health routine, and they said, "Oh, we can inject hyaluronic acid in that," and I opted against it. But it is something that some people do. I do take some skin creams I'll use to kind of try and smooth things out. Kiehl's stuff you can get off the shelf, nothing too complicated there. But, people that ask, hey, did you have any Botox? Did you have any procedures? I think you could see that, things are pretty natural looking. No, I haven't done anything surgical. It just is what it is. Don't dye my hair. It is thinning. It is natural. Someone said, why don't you get some hair transplant? Well, or why don't you shave your head? I like sharing with you. Again, the purpose of the channel is to share my progress, both good and bad. You be the judge. How, yes, I'm turning 60 the end of this year. You be the judge in how I'm doing. You can go back and look. Sometimes I'll even look, hey, how was I doing 2 years ago? That's part of the beauty for having the channel. Is I can go back and say, how was I doing 2 years ago? How was I doing 3 years ago? And think back to what I was doing, or even watch the video and see what I was talking about at that time. I changed the lighting here because I wanted things to look even more natural and less sort of dark and, unnatural, I guess. So I wanted you guys to really see what other people, or as close to possible, what other people see when they meet with me or they see me or what have you. Recently, I had a checkup with a doctor, and they say, are you taking any medications? Or what medications do you take? And so as if I'm going to automatically be taking meds. And I said, none. I couldn't always say that. It was always at least some allergy medication, but I couldn't always claim that. So saying that at 59, almost 60 years old, they do sort of raise their eyebrows. You're not taking anything. No, I'm not. But I automatically do go into, well, I do take a lot of vitamins and supplements. Oh, really? What do you take? And it's shocking to me how many doctors have still not heard of NMN. Something I've talked about in years past, that I think you should pass it on. I even had a doctor with an appointment with my son last year who was sick. That was actually in the States. We went and saw an express clinic. Doctor said I hadn't heard of NMN. I don't know how it came up. Maybe the fact that, well, I'm not sick, I'm taking NMN. And they're like, oh, really? What's that? And the doctor said, well, maybe I could take that because, maybe it would help me stay healthy with seeing so many sick people all the time. So she was going to go look into it. So if you, explain what you're taking to your doctor, you may be surprised at the reactions. I'm finding doctors to be pretty open-minded these days. As much as I kind of rail against pharmaceutical companies and the drug ads, especially in the U.S., you don't really have those here. Matter of fact, pharmaceutical ads are not allowed. Pharmaceutical drug ads are not allowed outside the U.S. and, for whatever reason, New Zealand. So we don't get those here in Germany, but I know that they're quite active. The funny thing was I was watching the special that I talked about recently with Anderson Cooper, and basically it was Anderson's show, but it was all Sanjay Gupta, and he's talking about lifestyle changes and how they were getting the best results for Alzheimer's using healthy choices for people in people's lives. He even talked online, and I talked about that, and I thought he was going to bring that up in the television special, but he didn't bring up the supplements that he started to take in the television special. It was only in the online report. And lo and behold, the advertisement, the commercials start in between that special where they're talking about these great benefits people are getting from lifestyle choices. And they even talked about one drug that wasn't getting results and another one that had a lot of side effects. And what are the ads for? Drugs. So the programming that was mostly centered around healthy choices, lifestyle choices, and not taking more drugs, yes, it was supported by drugs in the commercials. So I find that to be pretty ironic as well. So wish you the best. If hyaluronic acid, if you feel like it's working for you, whether it's topical or taking it in a capsule supplement form, do comment. It's very important that you do let people hear those positive comments, even if your results are from NMN or the other things that we talked about on this channel, so that we're not just getting strictly that hair trigger point of view from people who just see a video and start railing against it or talking about things that I'm not even talking about in the video. So do comment if you're getting positive results. And I do want to thank DoNotAge for reducing the price of yet another supplement quite dramatically. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon.